And we have an update for you on that stabbing in Ireland. Irish police have confirmed they are investigating a potential terrorist link to the attack on the army chaplain at a barracks in Galway. That's after the army chaplain was stabbed multiple times last night. Police confirmed that the man is in his 50s. He received a number of stab wounds and he's been taken to hospital in Galway. A teenage boy was restrained by members of the Defence Force outside Renmore Army Barracks before armed police responded and arrested him at about 10:45 p.m. Police say the scene remains sealed off as investigations continue. The victim's injuries are serious, but they're not thought to be life-threatening. And that victim has been named this morning. He's Chaplain Paul Murphy, and he's released a statement. He said, "Friends, thank you for your prayers, love and concern. Sorry that I can't reply to all messages and take all the calls coming my way. I'm doing okay, just awaiting surgery. All will be well."
We're going to return to that breaking story that Irish police are now investigating a potential terrorist link to an attack on an army chaplain at a barracks in Galway.
Well, let's get more with our Home and Security editor, Mark White. A terrorist link, that changes things.
Yes, it does. There had been reports that were circulating unconfirmed on social media that reported that this young man, teenager that was arrested after this stabbing and during the stabbing was muttering words about the Middle East and about potentially Irish military involvement there. We didn't report that. We didn't have any information to corroborate that at the time. But now that seems perhaps to be a bit more credible with the confirmation coming through from the police in Ireland that they are now looking into a potential terrorist motivation for this attack. It happened at 10:45 last night as Father Paul Murphy was at the main entrance to Renmore Barracks in County Galway when he was attacked at the entrance. Luckily, because it's an army barracks and it's at the main entrance, there were army personnel on guard duty that were able to respond quickly. They fired, we're told, 5 shots, warning shots, before then wrestling this youth to the ground and handcuffing him before the guard got there.
I mean, Mark, this comes at a time of heightened tension in the Republic of Ireland. It's the kind of thing that a lot of people will be saying, you know, the Irish government especially will be saying that let's not, you know, let's get the facts on the ground before we actually, you know, kick off about something like this, which is a horrible thing to have happened, but to establish the facts out of fear of there being the kind of things that we've seen break out in this country.
No, there is huge sensitivity in the Irish Republic at the moment because of what is happening in terms of mass migration, in particular the number of asylum seekers that are being accommodated right across the Republic. That has led to very significant tensions, protests and even violence with people concerned in their local communities about what they see as a security risk, an uptick in crimes in certain areas, and there will be some real concern about the potential unrest that could be sparked from an incident like this. Now, we don't know anything about the background of the individual, and that will come out in the fullness of time. But I think, given that climate, it's probably, I think, a bit surprising that the police in Ireland have come out so quickly to say that they are investigating a terrorist motivation.
Yes, that's very true, actually. We don't often hear any suggestion of motive for rather a long time. And as you say, particularly with the current climate, all the division and tensions that there are in Ireland and to an extent as well here in the United Kingdom. So what we know at the moment, they are just investigating a terror link, and this may be off the back of reports that there was this muttering about the Middle East and about Irish involvement in campaigns over there, presumably.
I think, given the sensitivities we've spoken about, for the police in Ireland even to come out at this stage and say they're investigating a terrorist motivation probably indicates that there was a fairly clear indication that terrorism may be the root motivation for what happened outside these barracks.
The Garda just thought we've got no choice but to actually release this statement and update the public on what is being investigated. I
think, I mean, if it's as clear-cut as this, just 12 hours or so after the incident itself, for them to add to the statement, it would probably be, the information that they may not really be anything to do with the utterances. We don't know if those comments are actually true, but it may be that a check of who this person is, of this person's links, of what this person may have posted on social media, which all can be done pretty quickly once a person is in custody and their identity obtained. That could tell them really quite quickly that, this individual we think may well be motivated by terrorism. And if that's the case, and we hear it all the time about potential mental health issues, which I know annoys so many people, but it is a fact in a lot of live investigations where, you don't get normal people that go off and decide to stab people multiple times. So often there is, issues that are linked to mental health as well. Doesn't mean they haven't been motivated by someone else or some ideology. But in this one, there's no mention from what the police have said in a statement about mental health concerns, just that they're investigating a potential terrorist link.
And nearly everyone has a massive digital footprint now. So, yes, as you say, the motive could perhaps be found quite quickly. But Mark White, thank you very much indeed, our Home and Security Editor. Thank you very much for that update.
Going to return to that breaking story. Irish police are now investigating a potential terrorist link to an attack on an army chaplain at a barracks in Galway.
Yes, Father Paul Murphy, who's in his 50s, was stabbed multiple times outside Renmore Barracks and was rushed to hospital.
Well, joining us now is former Scotland Yard detective Mike Neville. Mike, thank you very much for joining us. I mean, the protection that's going to have to be ramped up around these barracks is going to be at the focus of the state's view right now, isn't it?
It's truly shocking. I'm a veteran as well, and the cadre is a vital part of any regiment. And we don't see much of this in Ireland. In the Southern Ireland, to see a priest, an army officer, stabbed like this. I mean, it's good work by the Garda that they've got a suspect in custody already, but very worrying that they think terrorism may be linked to it.
And what happens when there's a suggestion that terror is involved in something like this? Who gets involved? How is it investigated differently? What happens, essentially?
Well, you can be assured if terrorism is mentioned, you have the highest quality officers involved. And of course, there's international links, so the Garda, the Southern Irish Police, will be linked in with the Northern Irish Police if needed, and also Scotland Yard. And so all sorts of intelligence we've brought in. It depends what kind of terrorism they're speaking about. Of course, when we're in Ireland, we're thinking of the IRA and Ulster Unionists, but that really has died down. So could it be Islamic terrorism or some other branch? Until we know exactly what it is, but we really can't say what the police will do next.
Mike, with your background, with your history, what do you say to those that are saying, well, we're getting to the point now where in both the Republic and in the United Kingdom, we're going to have to start telling our military to stop wearing their uniform?
It's
outside
really
of the barracks, I mean.
Of course, and it's really worrying because we had the colonel stabbed in Medway. We don't know the motives behind that yet. Again, the police successfully arrested a suspect. But this is a really new thing in the south of Ireland that this would happen. It's we associate terrorism with Ulster, with Northern Ireland. So it is a bad thing, because I think people do respect serving personnel and veterans, and to stop them wearing uniform, it really does send the wrong message to the community.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Mike Neville, former Scotland Yard detective. Thank you very much for your time. It's truly shocking, isn't it?
It is.
But that is a debate that is had and has been had because of what's happened to, members of our armed forces who just wear their uniform. But yeah, we'll bring you any...
It's a disgrace.
No, it is a disgrace. We'll bring you any updates as and when we get them.